Hey, listen, y'all, I'm the Fox, okay? I've been doing my thing for a while, so I'm just in a different state of humbleness now where I feel like, if they don't know some of my work, then they could check out my page and stuff like that. I don't, do the most now, but I'm a painter. We are a corporation on top of the world, INC, have media paperwork, etc. So I just, I don't like to put myself in a box. So I would just say I'm multifaceted in the business.
Like you got so many hats that you wear. So I'll be like, I got questions coming from all different angles. Like, I'm interested in your music. I ain't heard your music in a long time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of your music. Like, you got a unique voice. So I want to know if you're still interested in making music. Are you still recording, still writing?
I definitely see what happened with me is I was recording at Jalo Beat Studio where I'm a king named Black Sun Music, and when Corona had happened, it kind of they just shut the studio down. So I'm like the type of person, I get comfortable. I don't like being all over the place when I record. It's like once I find the sound I like to stay there. Thank you. What's up, Miss Watson? I see you. So with that being said, for me it was just very important to be comfortable. I always felt like every time I was ready to put a project out, something drastic happened. Like say Young TY was my first producer from Philly, and he was at work one day and somebody, took his life. And said all that to say when that happened, that stopped that project. And for me it was always like I couldn't do certain, or I didn't want to do certain things without the people that created this stuff with me. So, now when I do music and stuff this time around, it's going to be different. It could go under our company. I don't have to, I understand stuff more. So I tell people if they do music, really study, because you could put out a bunch of music, but if you don't know what you're doing, the codes that's supposed to be on there, etc., it's just like you're not wasting time, but you kind of giving away your talent. And I just, I feel like some things you shouldn't give away. You should do it the right way.
Right. Like, what's your creative process when you make your music or when you write it?
When I make music, I usually go off my feeling, just like when I paint. Like I'm gonna show you like a painting I did, right? When I paint, music is the same thing for me.
All
So
right.
this Charlie
Yeah.
Nick, we talking Philly,
Shout
you
out
know what I
Charlie.
mean?
Man,
And I start on
legendary.
this. Yeah, it's the same, Miller. Like it's the
You
same
look
when I
just
paint.
like me. That joke look just like that.
That's
But
funny, right? I was like, let me show up this because we talking Philly right now. But
that was hot.
thank you.
How
But yeah, I'm the
long
same
ago, how
about
long ago
everything
you
I
how
do.
long ago you did that one?
Huh?
How long ago you do that
I
painting?
did that like the same time that I did comedian Ski Carter painting. And if you give somebody a painting, they don't know if you did it or not. So what Charlie said when we was on FaceTime, he was like, well, I want to see if you could paint me. So he literally challenged me in a way. So I was
Right.
done that drawing in the day. I put the kufi on there, all that. I was like, oh, okay, let's go. I'm with it. So it was fun. It was fun. And he gonna get it when he got time. Yeah.
Right. Like where's the origin of your name?
The Fox, people name me that. Ever since you know me, it started with way back in the day when I used to be part of the plus size movement. Remember, Curvation Nation. And a lady
Right.
passed away now, so rest in peace to her. I don't have nothing negative to say, none of that. But for that point in my life, that started me to be more of an entrepreneur, um, learning how to do things on my own, and that's when I started Foxy Ladies Entertainment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Foxy Ladies Entertainment. So you have like any music that's coming soon or
I
that
really
you can
am.
release it?
It's going to be crazy. You was the first person that recorded me.
You always say
You
that. I
you was the first person that recorded me. I will never forget that. So just know when I'm ready to put something out, I'm going to send it to you first. I always
right.
asked you about your opinion when I would make music, even if it was
I
just something I
appreciate
would
it.
do on my phone.
Right. Real rap. I appreciate that so much. Certain questions I'm gonna ask you that I know, but I'm just doing it for the people that don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I gotta be like That's why it's kind of like, do you use your music for therapy or your work period, your artwork?
I feel like everything that you do creatively is therapeutic. Every piece of what I do is a piece of me. So this time around, when I do release music, I feel like now we back in the era where you can talk intellectually and it's not boring to people now. So at a time, I didn't want to put out music because I felt like the way that I spoke wasn't going to be interesting in the era of mumble rap.
Right, right. I agree.
And I feel like
Like,
when you branding, you gotta look at that type of stuff. Hey Jimmy, we see you. You gotta look at that type of stuff like is what I'm talking about not only relatable, but is it still being yourself? I'm very big on being myself. I'm not like the type that want to say stuff to get more people to be interested in what I'm doing. I want to really speak and mean something. I want to change some lives or, just make somebody feel like music is so powerful. You know that. It's so
right, right.
powerful that if people speak the right way and speak life into people and,
Hmm.
just talk differently, the frequency of how us as not only just Black people, but us as entrepreneurs, the frequency would change where we would be more supportive without doing the most.
So of course, it's things that you wouldn't say in your material. It's things
Indeed.
that you wouldn't say. Right, for sure.
Indeed.
Like so like that goes to my question about like if you had one thing to say to the youth, what would it be?
Never give up.
Mhm.
I'm going to say never give up. Find something that you're good at and stay true to it. Like, for me, I was literally told you never going to be nothing because I chose to have my first child at 15. So it's people that will say the worst things to you and you got to pray on it. You got to find a will in yourself to keep on going and believe in yourself. You got to
Right,
believe
right.
in yourself first. Like, and I tell people that all the time, like, it's never about like if other people believe in you. If you don't believe in yourself, then it kind of puts you in a position where people can not only take advantage of you, but they don't treat you right.
Thanks. So what was your first initial thoughts when you knew you was about to be a parent?
I was really scared to be honest, and I just don't think that nobody is ever ready. It's like no book out there that you could read that's going to prepare you for each one of your children's personalities and stuff. So, me
Hmm.
being my age now, I learned more understanding. I learned that even though people is young, they deserve respect too in the way that we talk to them. Even if we don't like things that they do, whatever, you don't want to make your children fear you or not want to talk to you and stuff. So I'm just blessed. I saw all my boys graduate. I got one more child in school, which is my daughter, and then I'm gonna be home free, Miller. Like I ain't never been, you know.
Real rap. So I know, of course, I know you rap, but what's like your favorite genre of music?
My favorite genre of music is hip hop. Because for
Mm.
me, and not only that, I'm gonna get up for a second. I want to show you something. Hold up. I'm gonna show you how
Right.
much I love hip hop. So this is what this is gonna be about for a second. You know,
Yeah.
I used to call myself Mrs. Hip Hop, and for anybody that don't
Right.
know me, that cipher movement in Philly, humbly, that's something that we started where we were just running around with all the independent artists, and we all was whether we was doing shows, y'all was out there, doing y'all thing, freestyling with people, making tracks. For me, I like authentic hip hop when people really connect with each other and uplift each other. It's not a competition. It's like a chance for everybody to express themselves. Now, with that being said, it was all a
Word Up
dream.
magazine.
I
Yes.
used to read Word Up magazine,
Yes.
okay? Like this real hip hop, okay? In the era where, we looking at the fashion, they wasn't sitting there
Right.
not working with each other. They was working
You
with
got
each other and
Word Up magazine.
connecting with each other.
Right.
And
That's
even the
classic.
stuff that they wear, the polka dots, all that stuff, this is stuff that people come back and they wear now.
Right.
So everything been done already.
So you have any dream collaborations that you want to do? Like what, old school or new school?
What I would say is I want to do a project, and we talked about this a long time ago. We can manifest this out here right now. Like I feel like we still need to do that project where we get everybody that's hot or that's willing to do it and humble enough to work together and really put out some Philly music. Like, you don't hear music anymore where it's like people getting together and it's 5, 6 people on the track. Or you get what I'm saying? Like, I want that feeling again. And, you know, I believe that me and you could do that. I don't care if I got hacked or not. You know, the power ain't changing or rich.
Right. Right. Like, I would say that the Philly version of Ladies First, that'd be crazy.
It was.
Like Ladies First and Ladies Night, like a mixture of both of those songs.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? That'd be crazy.
It would.
Isn't
You know, even
isn't
just
it
seeing more females work together, to me in this city, for me, you know, all the years that I've been doing stuff out here, that's the one thing that I always thought never really happened. I don't really see
right?
enough females working together and supporting each other. And, you know, you see the men do it. You know that. You see the men all over the city. They connect with each other. They talk. They share each other's stuff. Hi, daughter. But it's really important that, you know, we really support each other and don't just say it. We really got to get together. Imagine if even 6 of the queens just get together, a few that already made it and a few that didn't. It's so easy to put people on. It's so easy to uplift people, for real.
So that's one thing to go to my next question about like 3 things you don't like about hip hop. That'll be one, right?
Yeah.
That we don't collab.
The disconnect with working with each other is my top one.
Right.
The second one is feeling like, because, you know, even with myself, this not just because I know y'all can see my hand. It's not just because I'm engaged now, right? This is literally like, I always felt like, you know, everybody is not Little Kim or Nicki Minaj or stuff like that. And I feel like that sexual image is not for everybody. You know, I feel like if you was really like say Cardi B, she used to dance, stuff like that. So if she talks like that, that was really like where she came from. So even if she don't do it no more, it was a part of like, you know, what made her who she is, if that make any sense. The disconnect to me in music is people, you know, just wanting to be something that they not. I feel like what make music timeless is when you are yourself. Because at the end of the day, 10 years from now, if somebody can relate to you, if you believe what you're saying, your music still going to mean something to somebody 20 years, 100 years from now.
Right. Somebody said they sent the question. I'm trying to see it. I see the red light up, but like far as R&B, any R&B artists you want to collab with?
Oh, it's so many. The first one I would say I want to collaborate with, she like a R&B and hip hop artist. Her name is Moo Fresh. I feel like she like a new Lauryn Hill to me. That's somebody who I really want to make a song with. I like her a lot. I feel like she underrated. I like people that like play instruments, stuff like that. So, you know, I would love to work with somebody that like Chris Burrow, somebody that could not only sing, but then they go and dance and stuff in a video. Like, you know, I'm so like bubbly in my soul and stuff. So I like entertainment. Like, I feel like if we going to do a video, let's dress up, let's cosplay something, like anything but just, you know, something regular.
Somebody asked the question. They said, what motivates you to keep going?
My children, and the fact that is a lot of people that even, you know, I got hacks and all that stuff. When that happened to me, I really wanted to stop, but I ever do that when everything I'm doing is for my family, to motivate somebody. It's people that inbox me all over the world, whether it's Facebook, whatever. Just thank you for your art, or thank you for keep on going. And then, you know, when I post my children and they be like, oh, you got all these kids too. It's just like, you know, that inspires people when they just see, like, regardless of how many people they try to talk down to, you never quit.
Right. If your kids wanted to be a musician or an artist, would you like encourage that? Or
what's crazy is all of my children do something. All of them. So, like, say my son Jamir, he's an animation artist. He do anime, all that type of stuff. He paint whatever, spray paint, all that. My daughter, she go to dance school, and she got a separate set of, you know, God blessed her hands, so you know she good at growing stuff, all types of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then my son Zaire is really like, you know how like I just learned how to paint. I might have watched Bob Ross, but I taught myself how to do portraits and stuff like that. And I said that to say my son Zaire is like that with music. He literally can hear something and go play it on his keyboard. So, you know, he one step away from his piano. So you're going to definitely see my children put out some things under on top of the world INC. Because
That's
I'm going to
amazing.
have to manage them if they in the industry, okay?
It's real rap. So y'all like or some Family Jackson 5 type
For
vibes.
real?
Real rap. So what's your like your short term and long term goals?
My short-term goal, what's up, producer Roots? I see y'all. Miss Watson, I see y'all. My short-term goal, y'all, is to have my radio station launched. Even if it's not in the physical right away, the goal is to have it launched where it's already like online, like, you know, all on downloadable on the app store, all that type of stuff. So I'm still working on the logistics. You know, I'm not a computer person. You know this. You know that about me. You was the first person to record me, so you know.
Right, right.
So I'm not like the best with computers. So I really I need more assistance with that. You know, that was something I wanted to do on my own, but just some things is not meant to do on your own.
Like she said, like I'm gonna ask this question first, and I'm gonna get to your question.
Okay.
Would you like, are you interested in doing? You think you could do tattoos?
I am definitely considering that. Because I feel like all you need to do, be good at to do tattoos is shading and understand shading. And I really feel like I mastered that. I'll take a painting down and show y'all. Like say King Von. If I was to do somebody portrait on their arm, I understand like hues and stuff. It would really look exactly like the person. I just believe that I would do really good at that. So I'm definitely in the near future thinking about, you know, opening up. When I have a physical space, just know I want it to be a radio station. I want people to be able to record in there. I want it to be, they could come in there and buy art. It's going to be an art gallery, things like that. I don't want the space that I'm in to be like close to one idea.
You do your own
Yes,
makeup?
I do.
Like you're not interested in doing that, like a makeup line or makeup
You
page?
I actually do that, and what's going on is it's called Supreme Cosmetics. So I already got my you know, my logo done, my official logo. I tested products, so I had spent about 9,000, right, on
Right.
just buying all natural products, all this stuff. And for over a year, I was giving it to my family, like the shea butters and everything that I made. I sold some, but it was more like I wanted to see how everything held up, how long it would last, all that. And when I tell you none of my stuff went bad or nothing, so definitely Supreme Cosmetics is coming. I was
Right.
studying, making sure everything was right. And then, you know, you have to get stuff, you know, approved and all this stuff. So I'm just making sure I do it the right way. But definitely, I definitely do cosmetics. I'm into it.
Right, right. So what about modeling?
That's
Interested in modeling?
too.
Right.
Not only do I model, but I'm a designer. So I like to make clothes. I'm going to flip this camera. When I come back this time around, I have clothes already made. I want to that that's on the mannequin, even though you can't see it real good, right? That over there, I'm making the first unk line. I've seen people make unk clothes and things like that for decoration or like Halloween. No, but I'm gonna really make like, yes, Miss Watson. No, that's my co-host Flavor Friday on another app that I'm on. And with that being said, you know, on that app, I show them stuff that I DIY. I make DIY pocketbooks, sew something, hot glue gun, something. Like I'm very much into showing people how to use their hands and just, you know, how to even take something old and make it into something new.
If somebody would play you in the movie, your life story, who would it be?
Hmm.
Who would you
I
want
would want my
to
daughter to
represent
do
you?
that.
That's
I feel
amazing.
like
She looks just
somebody
like
has to be emotionally connected to me
that's
to even be
that's
able to
crazy.
understand my soul. Like I always been
You said
misunderstood.
me.
Yeah, my daughter would have to do that. Yes, like
That's
that's
what's
my best. She gonna be my
up,
best
man.
woman in my wedding. and Miss Watson, one of my maid of honor. So, you know, just God bless me, even with people like you that since I first started believed in me. To me, it never was about no followers and none of that. This was
Right.
like I made bonds with people that's never gonna go nowhere.
Real rap, for sure, for sure. You know, I'm in it for the long, long. Real
Man,
rap.
listen, same here. I already told you once that radio FOXX 107, y'all stay ready. You don't gotta get ready. Listen, as soon as my station
Right.
drop, he gonna be able to run his show right from his house, right where he at, where you could literally
That's
do
the
what
thing.
you already doing, and it just be where
You
it's
give me so
worldwide
much.
too at the same time. So we in this
Man,
together. Like it's taking a while, but it's gonna happen.
right, right. Speaking of followers, like you be on another app and it'd be crazy. Your support on that app. What is that other app you be on?
Yo, I was on Tagged, and that's where I met Miss Watson, the queen that's down here in the comments. And you know, we started doing a show called Flagrant Friday, where we was just interviewing different people, whether they were chefs, stuff like that. Or sometimes I would just dress. Well, darn near every show I would dress up as something. So I might be Cruella one day. Next week I'm a
Right.
ninja. Like I'm a
I've
fun person. Like I feel like if
seen
you,
you.
yes, if you a streamer, you gotta turn up. Like your nails always gotta be done, change up your hair, all that stuff.
Right, right. So what about like if you had a theme song when you entered the room to play, old school or new school, what would it be?
I'm not your superwoman. I feel like,
Huh?
people I know that's an
Say it
old ass
again.
song, and some of y'all not even gonna know what that is, but look
Oh,
up I'm not your superwoman.
classic.
Because I feel like nowadays, it's just so much is expected of not only women, but it's like, it's like this unrealistic expectation of just how much you could even give to people. When you got a family or as you grow older, your peace become more important than even money. You want stability, but you want your peace more. So I would say I'm not your superwoman because people gotta understand I'm one person, and being famous is not for everybody. I feel like if you sensitive, all of that, you really got to take into account the way you do things and if you need to have your own paperwork or not.
So you would keep doing what you're doing regardless of success?
I would, because it's like in my soul to do so. I feel like each one of us was here, or we don't just wake up and, oh, I'm a writer out of nowhere. If you wake up and you dance or you write or any of that, your ancestors did it, and what we supposed to be doing is elevating what was already there. So this is not we're originating things. This is anything that's in your soul. You're supposed to take it how it already was and make it better. So they did art too. But what I did was I add my own twist to it. I add my own colors, my own style to it. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
They might have did
right.
art too, but everybody does things differently. And that's the whole point. Whether you a chef, a cook, a mother, a maid, a boxer, it's like
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, people is not comfortable with what they're good at.
Right, right, right. So do you look at like social media, like you look at it as a nuisance or a benefit?
It's both.
Right.
Because
If you had
just
to
like
pick one though.
streaming, you're going to
If
have
you, but
trolls.
if you had to pick one though, if you had to pick one.
If I had to pick, I would say it's more of a nuisance because it took away
Yeah.
the genuineness of everything. When people used to make it as hip hop artists back in the day, they literally had to go around, give people their CDs, put on performances. Like they couldn't just go in there, put on auto tune, and then go perform with their music playing in the back. They really had to
Right,
have a performance, a stage presence, and a personality.
right, right. So like how old was you when you started writing? Like music?
When I started
Or did
writing, I
you start
was
with
8.
poetry?
I would
Really?
say I started writing poetry at 8. I lost my dad the day after my birthday when I turned 8. So for me,
Wow.
when I started writing poetry, it really was the release, and I felt scared a lot when I was young. So I didn't talk a lot. Like my way of talking was writing.
Wow. That's amazing. Like I never knew that.
Yeah.
Like, well, are you interested in acting in a movie?
Yeah, I have done so before in Philly. Shout out to Jermaine Quick way back. When he did American Bully, I had like a part in there,
Oh yeah,
and it was fun.
yeah.
It was fun. It wasn't a big, super huge part, but it was just like me testing the waters. I always was more behind the scenes with. I used to help people cast people for movies and stuff like that. So now I'm interested in that, but I'm more interested in being behind the scenes doing the makeup. I could do FX makeup, all that stuff. So I'm interested in doing, the scenes of the makeups and the styling and stuff. I feel like a lot of people, no shade, need stylists.
That's why I wanted to interview because I feel like we got that in common. Like we so humble that we can play the back seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people they want us on the front line so bad because we leaders. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody know you got the full package. Full package. Like you got talent, you got the look. So people be wanting to see you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I guess that's the same thing with me. I never looked at myself like having an image, but I guess I do. You know what I mean? As far as whatever reason it is, it's just like people just I could ghostwrite all day, but I feel like people want to see me do it. You know what I mean?
I honestly feel like we support, and this is the thing that I think that we always done. This is like something me and you mutually did. We always cared more about uplifting people through our platforms than us being on.
Right.
And if people do right by us, we be cool with them forever, if that make any sense, and support them forever. But we, even with myself, people be like, why don't you paint yourself? Or like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
Right, bro.
and I just be like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
why do I want to pay myself? I mean, for me, it's just like, it's not interesting for me to sit there and paint myself. Like, I think that's, it's
Dang.
just like vain to me. That's not something I'm interested in. When I put myself on that big board that I did with the legends, right? Somebody told me to put myself on there. Like the viewers when they were watching me paint it. But I would have never even did that if they didn't say that.
So do you look up the other artists? Because now you got me thinking about asking somebody to paint you. That's interesting.
Can I tell you something? That would be such an honor because I feel like when people see my art, sometimes they get intimidated, right? Where I don't think people understand that I love to see other people perceptions of things or things like that. So it was a few
Right.
people that drew me before, I would love that. I would love if somebody paid me. I would hang that joint up like that would like listen, I would keep it forever.
Yeah. You would though. I know you would.
Yes.
And let me show you a painting she did for me. Like I'm always next to my painting every day. This is my homegirl. Rest in peace to Jada Dior.
Rest in peace to this queen.
You know what I mean? You see her name right there, Jamie the Fox. Like
Hey.
this painting is very dear to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
And it meant a lot to me when I did it. I cried because, this young lady was, book writer, all that stuff. And you know how you never could meet somebody, but you could just see they bright spirited just from every picture that Queen took. She was smiling.
right.
She was happy, and you could just feel people energy sometimes. And I think that's something that we got. That's why people want to see us because it's not
Right.
about like being the best in the room. It's just about love for us.
That's what I'm real. That's why I wanted to start these interviews because I love making music, but I'm newsy. And this interview, I like doing interviews, man. I really like it a lot
Yeah.
because it shows. I get to show admiration for the people that I look up to.
Sad.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna continue doing this. It's like therapy for me. It helped me interact with people that I haven't conversated with in a while. Like we ain't talking a minute. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
been
But
a
we always
while.
support each other. We always support each other though. Thank
Facts. I
God for
mean,
that. That's why the internet is a benefit in the way, you know what I mean? Because when family and friends, you know what I'm saying? Especially Facebook.
right,
Facebook helped me go see everybody I grew up with. Like, I don't be on that as much as I do on Instagram now.
right.
But I wanted to use this platform to reach out to people and shine light on people that got a lot going on that behind the scenes and they humanitarians. Like you really care
Facts.
about the community. You know what I'm saying? gotta
and care
support. You gotta.
about, you know, the youth and also the way that we carry ourselves. You know, for me, when I got hacked and I came back to Instagram from a just a page I wasn't really using like that, it's
Right.
just I feel like, and I'm let's talk specifically about female music for a second. I feel like
Right.
I'm very disappointed in a lot of the female music that's out right now. It's so many people I feel like they got potential, but they trying to keep up to me like with like people that's like Nicki and stuff, but Nicki got money already. And I
Right.
be telling people, you know, you gotta be careful about when you get an image because people expect you to be that. So if you ever want to put on a dress or like, you know, or if you ever want to
Yeah.
work with children or
Right.
certain things, it's like until you get rich, they're not going to let you do it. So I just
It's a fact.
feel like, you know, we got to be mindful that we got these young girls and these young men looking up to us. And even myself, I fall short. So that's not me saying that I don't fall short, but I'm saying that
Not in the
I'm not
public,
putting out music.
but not in the public eye though. You don't fall short, and that's what the whole thing is too. Like, you know what I'm saying? People don't understand that everything ain't for the socials. You know what I'm saying? Your privacy, respect your privacy more. Because
Exactly.
what you, I know you go through a lot of things, but I don't like you don't show it on social media. You don't get on your story and be complaining about who did this to you, who did that to you. You know
It's
what I mean?
draining. I don't think people understand how draining it is if you got a life or a family and then you take the time to go on social media and check on people you care for. And every time you see them, it's something negative or they
Right,
complaining or they even, if you really happy in your soul, do it matter to you what people did to you? Like, I don't care what nobody stole from me or nothing. I promise you. And it's not because I didn't need it. It's
right.
because I respect my peace. And the more that I sit there and think about what people did to me, that's the less time I have to create or do things that would benefit my future and my children. You know?
Right, right. Random pancakes or waffles.
Waffles, Belgian waffles. With strawberries
Ice,
on it and
ice
blueberries. Thank you.
cream, ice cream or water ice.
Ice cream.
Ew.
I love ice cream. I do. And I like chocolate ice cream too.
Okay, that's you gotta be chocolate if it's gonna be any ice
Period.
cream. I knew that was gonna make y'all laugh. Look at the comments. That was random.
Be like edges or
Yo.
no edges, slick down edges or baby hair or no baby hair.
Yeah, water ice. You feel me? I'm a water ice person. You know what I'm
In the
saying?
summer, but in the winter, guess what? I want my bowl of ice cream.
I know. Cause I be mad. Like I can't find no water ice in the winter. Like real rat.
Yo, you wanna know what you gotta get the ghetto drawings from the market with the stick in it.
It ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? I be wanting readers sometimes. Or I mean,
I
what's it
like
called?
them myself, but they be in the freezer too long. Them joints be nasty though. Yo, that's
Are
so
you a
random.
movie? Are you a movie buff?
Huh?
Are you a movie
I
buff?
am.
What's your top three movies of all time?
Harlem Nights,
Wow.
Belly,
Wow.
Belly, and what would be my third one that I could just watch nonstop that make me laugh? Let me think about that.
Nights and Belly.
Hmm. See, it's like a tie. It's like a tie in my last three. So I would say let's just go with the first two because it would take me too long. Like I got
All
like a
right, give me
lot of
four
movies that's
then.
on the
Give
same
me
level.
give me four then.
Well,
Give me two more.
all about the Benjamins. I'll say all about the Benjamins. I could watch that movie nonstop and just laugh. I will laugh
So,
like the
so you
first time
like
I saw it.
so you like comedy.
I do. I
Yes,
like comedy and I like action movies a lot.
right. So who your top five comedians?
Hmm. First, my favorite comedian is Bernie Mac, right?
First
That's my
of
favorite
all,
comedian.
right.
Then it would be like I like Martin a lot too. I do because I feel like that's like a show I grew up with. I love Eddie Murphy. I feel like he did not have not one bad movie. Um, he didn't. Like, I love Eddie Murphy. I feel like he is hilarious.
I agree.
Yes. Um, I like Red Fox too, because I used to watch I watched that show a lot. Like I like Sanford and Son a lot. Who
Actually
else
got a
would
red
who I
Fox
have to
question.
give? And then I'm gonna give Dave Chappelle my last slide.
Yeah. I got oh yeah, you won't say Red Fox though. David Chappelle? Mm.
Yeah, and it's not because I thought he was the funniest. It's because I felt like he stood for something too.
Both. He's hilarious.
He is, but it was like the whole package for me. Just like with Bernie Mac, I didn't pick him just because he was funny. He's like an effortless funny. You know, like some people have to try to be funny. I
Yeah.
love Kevin Hart, but I feel like he tries to be funny sometimes, right? Where a
Right.
Bernie Mac is like he could just be talking to you, and everything he say is literally funny. And
No,
he
real
probably
rap.
be dead serious, but you still gonna laugh.
And the morals they stand on, I feel you. David Chappelle and Bernie Mac. Like they stand on a lot. Yeah,
Indeed.
I agree. What about what about you like R&B singers, right?
Hmm.
So who your top five classic singers from back in the day? Not even up to date.
Back in the
Back
day. Back
yeah.
in the day,
You
I'ma
got an old
say,
soul,
I love Patti LaBelle a lot.
right?
With Stephanie Mills. I listen to Billie Holiday, stuff like that. I like blues and stuff like that sometimes. I like people like in a newer era. I go a little not so old. I like people like Toni Braxton. I feel like she got longevity, like and her image stuff like that. It's like she was sexy, but she didn't look like a hoe. That's the
Right.
definition of being sexy but not looking cheap, right? Like I'm very big on that. What else?
Right. No, real rap though.
No shit. I feel like that's it's not what you wear, it's how you wear it. So that's somebody that put on a whole chain dress, but it didn't look like
Shout
she
out,
didn't look like a
shout out
street
to
woman.
Team Cancer. Shout out to Team Cancers out there.
Period.
Feel me?
And you know what? I'm gonna put somebody in here that is super random, and I'm gonna say Missy Elliott. Even though she
Yeah,
not your typical what people would look at as art, she can sing. She really
she
can
can
sing if she wanted to
sing.
get
She
on
really
there.
can. For
So,
sure.
and she a cancer.
Yeah.
Next.
Interesting. But as far as the universe, anyway, let's talk about that. Like, because I know you into the universe. So, like astrology or and numerology, are you interested in both of them?
I'm interested in my numerology and astrology. I feel like is very useful when it comes to certain stuff. Like say the FBI will use it if somebody hurts somebody or murders somebody. You could literally you could narrow people down based off of characteristics from zodiac signs. So I feel like zodiac signs are useful when it comes to characteristics, not like, oh, you're going to be in love next week. But when it comes to like what somebody is capable of, if they're not aligned with their chakras, is very
Right.
true.
I'm glad I asked you that question. That was a lot. That was very insightful. I didn't know you was gonna say that. I mean, you was gonna say something deep though. That's crazy.
Yeah, fair.
Yep. Yeah, like I know what. Yeah, if you're not aligned, it's so typical of you. The things that you're gonna do if you're not aligned.
I mean, you basically liable to do anything. So me before I got to my higher self or even working on my alignment and my peace, then you know how people say, oh, I'll never leave you. We all said that to somebody. And we all love somebody too. I love you too, Miss. We all
She's
love
amazing.
somebody too. So what I learned is that life is unpredictable and we change. Who we was last year might not be the same person that we are now. So I just feel like, you always got to keep that in your head that people can change, that people, don't owe you anything. And if you do stuff for people, mean it from your soul, so that if they do let you down, you're not sitting there feeling like life is over or like you even got to do something back to them.
That's the key right there. That is the key right there. Like, people need, I can't wait to share that clip. That's a mean jewel right there you just dropped. Like, stop getting so mad at people, expectations too high. Like, real rap.
Because
Let
most
bygones be
people are still
bygones.
learning themselves. So how can we expect people to not hurt us when they're hurting? That's why it's important to get to know people. If you don't really know who people really are, you know how many people met me but don't know me? Like, really know I'm a sensitive being. Like, I don't stay to
Yeah,
myself because I want to be. I stay to myself because when I open up to people, they hurt me. So I had to sit
right.
there and get over that. Like, all right, I'm ready to get back into the world, or I'm ready to show my art again, because it's times where all of us creatively feel, whether it's unsupported, unloved, whatever, at those times, you got to pick yourself spiritually up. That's why it was important for me to get aligned. Because when you're not aligned and you even pursuing something like a career, you can mentally lose it if you don't prepare yourself. It's just that people is going to let you down. You can't put all your faith in people to be let down.
Like, how important is the mentor and disciple relationship to you?
I feel like mentoring or speaking life into people is more important than being seen and stuff. I feel like me, this was something since I met you, whether it was me interviewing people on my shows or just starting the show just because I felt like people didn't get promoted enough or stuff like that. A lot of the things I did wasn't because I was a rapper. It was because I would see people, get taken advantage of, just all types of things where even with my radio station, that's why I'm releasing it. I'm not releasing it because I feel like this is a way that I'm just going to get a bunch of money. I know that it's going to be money that comes from it, but I feel like it's going to make a lot of people feel free to not feel taken advantage of. And at least if you're going to pay for your music to go in rotation or something, let somebody do a yearly plan or something where they could pay a small. I want it to be like somebody could pay $50 and their song will play every week on somebody's show.
Right,
So I think
right,
like that, like, how can you get something from people, but not so much that they feel taken advantage of, if that makes any sense.
right. Make a lot of sense. Speaking of money, if you had to make a choice to invest or save, what would it be?
I would say invest, because I don't believe that anybody ever makes it from not investing. So whether it's all these canvases or the chair I stream in, whatever, all of these things is an investment. So whenever I do get a space, I already got lights, a backdrop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just stuff that I feel like is important depending on what you're doing. So investing, whether it's in stocks, bonds, whatever you're doing, you can't look at life like, oh, I'm about to lose this money, because people go gamble every day, and with that chance of not getting that money back. I would rather take that chance on a stock or on somebody whose talent I believe in or something, or even my own talent, to
Mm-hmm.
see what could come of that, rather than
Right,
just sit there and sit on your money. What does that do?
right. Yeah, that's what Grandpa taught me. Correct.
I
What
do
about,
believe you should have a savings, but I don't believe that you should not invest in random things that you
right,
believe that are good ideas or stuff like that.
this is great advice.
Thank
If you, I know you're engaged, congratulations.
you. Thank you.
So,
Look, you are.
so what's
Listen,
the
look, I was
three
happy when I
qualities?
saw my ring. I did not expect this. I expected something nice, but I didn't expect this. Like,
Right. Like, what's the three qualities in a man that made you want to get married? Like, made you say
well,
yes?
we've been together for 14 years. So what's crazy is that we already did the work. You know how people will get married just because people feel like they should? Or I always told myself I never wanted to just get married because we've been together for a long time. You go through
Right.
phases in relationships. So somebody might have cheated at one time. We might have both was lying, whatever. We had to learn how to talk to each other. I feel like in relationships is stages of how you got to get to know somebody. We already live together. So I know that we can live together without
Mm-hmm.
disrespecting each other, or you get what I'm saying? You got to do the work with relationships, whether it's professional or in your personal life. It took us 14 years to take that step. But
Right, right. That's amazing.
thank
Uh, so it's like that's one thing though. You said living together.
you. Yeah.
I mean, well, basically, getting to know each other. That's two. I mean, y'all got those. What was the seal? The seal the deal. What was the third thing?
When we got to the point of respect, I used to be angry, Miller, and I feel like every woman, for real, like I really used to be mean.
That makes so much
For real,
sense, yo.
I really was mean, Miller. Like, even my demeanor, like, it don't matter if I was doing rapping or radio or whatever. Like, it wasn't like people was just walking around disrespecting me. It's like my demeanor was always like, I want to be respected and I give respect, right? So,
Right,
said all that to say, when you get hurt or stuff like that, my way of reacting used to be physical or to try to say the worst thing I could say out my mouth.
mm,
I really had to work on myself. I think we spend a lot of time on trying to tell people how to change for us and don't do the work on ourselves. I actually did the work on myself, my anger,
right.
my pain, all that stuff. That's a part of working on your chakras. Each one of them is governed by our emotion.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Like, so what's the farthest you ever traveled?
Can I be so honest? I haven't really been a lot of places. I've been a mother since I was 15. So for me, it wasn't about traveling or nothing. It just was
Mm.
surviving and just doing my best.
That's real, yo. Yo, so you can have a lot of fun for the rest of your life. Everything will be new to you.
That's,
That's how I look at my
when
thing.
you put this ring on me, I don't even want to cry, right? But for me, I felt like it's a chance for me to live the other part of my life now. Like, meaning, like, once my daughter graduate, that's when I'm gonna start traveling, and it's gonna feel better than if it's just like random men or people that don't care for me or something like that. It's gonna
That's
be
what I'm
like I'm gonna
saying.
travel with
Yup,
my husband, with
yup.
my kids, and I'm just grateful. I am. I'm just grateful for love, for life. People like you, Miss Watson. I see you down there, goddaughter, all that. I see everybody up in here who came through. And, I'm just grateful, y'all.
You
That's it.
deserve it. You deserve it, bro. Like, real rap. Sis, you came a long way. You know what
Thank you.
I'm saying? All you do is you deserve your flowers. You give people their flowers. You know what I'm saying? People try to throw shade, but you always ignored it. I see you just vibe high. You know what I'm saying? And that's why that's the main reason. Like I was at the Buddhist Center telling my Buddhist members about my interviews and the people that I'm picking to
Right.
do interviews. It's important to me that people that don't know y'all need to get to know y'all, how y'all carry yourself, especially like we was talking about how the internet, like people using this platform to be who they're not. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
But it's like they let that evil little twin out because we all got an evil twin. So
Thanks.
they let the evil twin out on this internet instead of vibing high and being an example, being the change you want to see. And I feel like you be the change you want to see. You know what I'm saying?
And that was
Real rap.
important to me, Mother. No lie. Like this time around, when I come back now, it's more about the businesses being ran correctly, websites being correct, it being easy to access the art. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, for me, it's not about being seen, it's about these businesses being right and making sure that all this stuff is left behind for the
Yeah,
children in
you
the
always
future.
saying that. Like you something to look at, but you never want to be seen. That's funny. That's so funny to me. Like everybody want to see the Fox. That's crazy. Like
And I
God,
feel like
God
we
made you
could
so
do it, but we
humble.
going to do it our way, okay? And that's my whole
That's so
thing. It's
real.
I'm
Real
coming back,
queen.
but
Like,
just in a different way.
that's a real queen. Like to have the image and humble like that is amazing. You know what I mean?
I feel
Private
the
and
same
humble.
about you. Listen, you work on your spirit so often. I tell people, I don't get too caught up in religion. What I get caught up in is when you vibrating about love, it don't matter. You're not sitting there looking at people's skin color, their money, what they don't got, none of that. You literally
Yeah.
just want them to be okay, just like you want to be okay. And it's simple.
Like the same thing you were saying about like I was mean and angry. I just needed Buddhism from my personality. You know what I
Right.
mean? But far as like like you said, I operate off of love. I guess it's the Capricorn in me. So
Right.
regardless of how angry or mean I was, I always loved deeply. You know what I mean? So you're right about that.
It's
But Buddhism
important.
did not. Yeah.
And
It just made me
everybody
realize
don't
that.
got that. That's another thing I want to say, and that's okay. But that's
Right.
why people need to see us and stuff. So even though I don't want to be out there, I'm gonna choose ways that people can still have access to me
For
that don't
sure.
violate like my
You
inner
do.
peace that I built for myself.
You already do. Like you really do that.
Yeah.
Yo, that's amazing, yo. I love this interview, man. How do you feel about my questions?
I feel like this was the best thing ever because for me, when you actually know somebody, it's like I've known you for years. It don't matter if we talk every day. I didn't feel like this had to be no scripted. Oh, what made you want to do what you do? These is the type of interviews that I feel like people want to hear. Just even me just randomly crying. Like it's so many people that say, "Oh, my makeup done." Girl, who cares? Like if your makeup is done right, you could cry and it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
So
Yeah.
just it's the genuineness for me, and I appreciate you and your time. Make sure y'all look out for Supreme Cosmetics. Okay, Supreme Divinity brand is everything that I make with my hands. Make sure y'all look out for my children. All of them got clothing, lip gloss, all
What?
types of stuff coming. Yes, music, all that. My oldest son model, so he the head of my anybody that's like 30 and under, he's gonna be like the head model of that genre for the males. And
What?
then I'll announce the females soon. But we got a lot of stuff coming from clothes to everything, y'all. So just stay tuned. Music too.
Right. Right.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's interesting. I can't wait.
Indeed. We need to do a song together. Like, what's
Of
good?
course, you already know. This is the first time in my whole life that I ain't recorded in a year. So I'm itching to get back in the studio. Yeah, been a year. You know what I'm
Listen,
saying?
I'm gonna have to hit up Black Sun though, because I ain't even gonna lie, he played the keys and all that. If he got another, and I do believe he got another studio space, gonna be up in there.
Right, right. For sure,
That's
for
just
sure.
But anyway, yo, listen, this was amazing. I appreciate you. And just
Appreciate
keep
you.
doing what you're doing because when Fox 107 drop, I'm gonna be like, Mella, what's good?
You
That's
know I'm
it.
around. I'm there for all of that. Like for sure, for sure. Like, yeah.
Hey,
So you know what I'm saying? This the East Coast have that Philadelphia mascot, Philadelphia Gates. Here with Jamie the
period.
Fox. If you don't know, now you know. Signing
That
off.
part.
Love you, baby.
Thank you. See you. Bye, y'all. Love y'all.